Hello guys, the coin here once again in my second live stream today. So what we're looking right now is the Dow Jones, which took a reasonable dump here. So the Dow Jones is actually looking very bad. The futures market are not reacting that violently, at least for the time being. So as a matter of fact, nor is Bitcoin, at least of right now. It's dumping, but it's not that hard yet. So I don't know, this might be the beginning of the end for the stock market, cryptocurrency for a long while. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones futures. So if you remember, I have been talking about this dump for a while now in the Bitcoin market, and then I started to analyze the stock market as well, and then I tumbled upon the 1929 crash, and yeah, it looks to me like we're in the middle of the retest of the lows. That's what I believe was going to happen next. So the stock market is going to visit the lows for March. So we're going to visit the lows here. We're not going to break it, I believe, but we're going to visit the 18,000. I believe must be around the 18,500 level in the Dow. I believe this is what's next. So like you can see, the Dow Jones is the Dow Jones is breaking that kind of support. I actually thought we would actually retest this level here, but I guess it decided to dump all along. I actually thought that the Dow Jones would actually test the 26,648, but like I said, the pattern just still fits to what I saw in the 1929 pattern after we recovered from the first crash. So I believe we're on the way down. How long it's going to take, I don't know, but maybe a week or two, just checking how things are actually unfolding. It shouldn't take very long at all. So let's take a look at the NDX. The Nasdaq has been just completely erratic, man. But I believe that the Nasdaq will suffer just like any market. Maybe the correction will not be as steep, but it will have to correct because these gains that the Nasdaq has been doing, it's just complete insanity, man. And just that just tells me that it's not sustainable, man. It's absolutely not sustainable. So let me take a look at some stocks. Let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla is still not doing too bad. But make no mistake about it, Tesla is going down as well. So like I said, if we're going to test the lows, expect Tesla to be around the 357 to maybe 433, I don't know. Let's take a look at the other big shot. So Amazon. Amazon has just been incredible in regards of gains. But like I said, man, I don't believe that these stocks. I don't believe that anyone is safe from this. You know, Amazon is still at all-time high. So we just have to wait and see. But I would say that just take a look. Yeah, the S&P is just incredibly. The RSI is incredibly oversold. Although that doesn't mean anything because the indicators can continue to be oversold for a long time. So yeah, guys, I believe this is where the point we're at, where I think we're going to retest retest these levels here. Even in Bitcoin, I believe that we're going down here. I don't know how long it's going to take, but as far as I understand, you know, this wave. So after the first crash, we actually came back. So I believe that we're going to retest these levels here. We're going to around maybe 4K to 450. I don't know, 4 or 500, depending on how much the stock market is going to dump. But I believe that is next. I believe these are the targets, just according to what I've seen from the patterns of the 1929 crash. And once again, it's coming true, man. I was talking about the continuation of the dump. I actually started to talk about more yesterday because of the pattern that I just discovered, and yeah, I believe that's what's going on right now. And the crypto market will suffer from it, you know. I saw yesterday famous, well, an influencer, a YouTube influencer talking, you know, Da Vinci J15 was talking about, yeah, Bitcoin is going to 12K. Bitcoin is going to 12K, so that's where we at, guys. If the stock market is going to dump, Bitcoin and crypto is going to dump. You know, there's just no second. There's just no way around this, guys. It is what it is. So I believe that the continuation to the downside is here. I believe we're going to test these levels here. We're not going to be at low. We're going, I believe that we're after these testing of the lows, we're going a little bit upside, a little bit sideways to the upside. We recover a little bit and then we continue to dump. So maybe next month or so, I believe that no, because this recovery is not going to happen again. You know, this V-shaped recovery, this was a time only to give some of the guys a little bit of hope. You know, this is a complete fake out. This is a rising wedge, whatever you want to call it. This was just, you know, just for the traders to be optimistic again, but ultimately we will be lower, because you have to understand something. From the 1929 to 1931 depression crash, in this dump here, in this first dump, the numbers are so similar. So we lost about 38% of value. In 1929, in this first crash here, the Dow Jones lost 40%. Into comparison, you know, Bitcoin lost 24% more than the stock market, than the Dow Jones. So if um, if the stock market lost 38%, um, add add 24 more. That's how much Bitcoin lost. Around 62% that Bitcoin lost. So I'm expecting the same thing. So I'm expecting the retest of the lows here. I believe that Bitcoin will, just according to the charts alone. So it basically recovered from the lows, right? It recovered all the way. So I believe that Bitcoin is going to lose about 62 to 64% again. But let us take a look. God damn it, what the fuck? TCUSD. Let's go to the Coinbase chart. So like we can see here, Bitcoin recovered almost everything, you know. So I believe that Bitcoin is going to dump about perhaps well, not to 62%, but at least 60% again. It will drop, then it will recover. It might recover fast once again, maybe to these levels here or these levels here. After a little bit of consolidation, we go sideways like the stock market, and then we continue to dump and continue to make new lows. That's what I believe, to what has happened in the past, to how much Bitcoin lost when the stock market actually dumped that much. So yeah, I believe that we're on the way on the way down. Let's make some calculations in here once again. Let's put in here the date and price range. So since Bitcoin started to dump to the low, which should be this here, so it took roughly 23 days, you know, for this to happen. So we might be in the midst of a same kind of thing. 23 days, maybe less, I don't know. It depends. Everything is so fast. So that's where we're going next, I believe. We're going basically, Bitcoin is going in the crypto market is going to yeah, to give away all the gains. So I started to dump from here. I guess we can start to dump from here as well. So like I said, we might not even lose 62%, maybe even 50, maybe even 60 or 59%, but it's a very high number, guys, very high number. So I don't know if anyone is actually watching this, because I know this is not a popular opinion, guys. Nobody wants to see the crypto market dump, you know, but the data is what it is, man. The stock market is going to dump, and it's going to take the crypto market with it, like it happened here. Remember this? This was when the stock market dumped. So the stock market dumps, crypto dumps. And we are in the midst of retesting these lows here in the stock market and in crypto and Bitcoin as well. That's what I believe, according to the patterns, to the bar patterns from the 1929 to 1931, the Great Depression crash. That's what I believe will happen. That's the Dow Jones right now on the daily. So I was basically expecting for the Dow Jones to test this level here, 26,629. I guess it didn't want it to, so we're already in the beginning of the crash. This will continue, I believe, according to these patterns here. Let me go to the YM1. Let me go to the futures. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I still have the pattern here. So this movement that you're seeing here, this was this. So no, I can't see it, damn it. God damn it! Where the fuck is the chart, man? God damn it, man! I didn't mess with it. Why the hell is it not here? Okay. Chart. Yeah, but basically what I wanted to say is that you're seeing this movement here. Let me just remove here some indicators. Remove the alligator and the RSI swing indicator. You see this move here? This was the top, this here. I believe this is this. This was the bottom, so it dumped straight away from this here. It started to make a W pattern. That was this, and now it's going to dump. Now we're already in second phase. We're already in this. We're already here. We're starting to dump. We're going down. And what this means in the overall picture, this was the bottom. This was the bottom, right? This was the bottom, which corresponds to this bottom here, right? This was the bottom, this is the bottom here. So this indicates that we're going to... No, wait a second, I'm doing something wrong here. Nope, I'm not. So this means that we're going to test the bottoms. I don't believe we're going to break the bottom just yet. You know, we're going to test the lows, like we can see here. So the M. Now we're dumping. We still have a long way to dump. We're going to test the lows, like we can see here. This was the lows, which corresponds to this here. So we're going down, we're going to retest the lows. Like we can say, you know, like we can see, since it started dropping, you know, from that W pattern, it looked like it was very fast. So I believe this drop will accentuate after we leave this trend line, after we dump from this trend line, and yeah, basically that's what I think it's going to happen. So we already completed the W. I'm not seeing any recovery from here. Maybe, like I said, we're going to stay here a little while, or kind of you know, be hovering around here this trend line, and then we're going to continue to dump to the downside. That's what I believe. That's what this pattern here is showing me. You know, after that we're going to consolidate a little bit, moving sideways. We're going to make a little bit of a higher high from these lows here. So we're going to move like this. Maybe we will go to this level, and then we will go to this level, and then start to dump again. Just from what I can see from these bars, you know, that's what I see, you know. Look, even take a look at this. Of course, the scale is different. The scale is different, but the reality is that this is the 1929 stock market. So from this move that is here, from this move that is here, it so in 1929 the stock market lost 40% of its value in this move, in this entire move. In this entire move, the Dow Jones lost 40% of its value. We, on the other hand, only lost 38%. So we're 2% off, right? So yeah, after this first bottom here, yeah, we recovered. This recovery is steeper than in 1929, but it's the same thing. The recovery is steeper. Once again, we reached the top here, which is this. We went down, which is this. We're making the kind of W pattern, which was that W pattern. Now it's going down. Now we're going to retest. We're going to retest the lows, and then after a little bit of going sideways and up, we continue to dump. That's what I believe. That's what I believe where we at, and yeah, that's what I can say about this. As far as now, you know, just take a look at these bars from 1929 and compare them to the highs and lows, you know, to what is actually going on right now. Look, right here, even here, look at this high here. This was this, right? After the first start of the dump, it even did this, man. It's incredible. Even did this. Kind of a V pattern, but nonetheless, here it is, the same pattern. Then it dropped. We kind of made two lows, like we can see here. You see this? One, and then the low. One, and then the lower low. Exact same thing, man. It's incredible. Yeah, then with the recovery started, we kind of had this pattern as well. You see the V here, higher high. Then it continued to go higher. Kind of this little dump here must have been this. Then it continued. It's much steeper into these days, but same thing. So we dropped, we dumped this level here, which is this. Now we're making an M, so I guess the M is completed, and now we have to go down. That's what I'm seeing in here. So I'm not making anything up. This is from 1929, guys. You see the similarities. It's incredible. It's crazy. I don't know what it is, but it is what it is. The stock market is following the same patterns as in 1929. That is the reality and the truth of this. If you don't believe me, guys, just open up TradingView, create an account. You can do it for free. You can open an account. You don't have to pay for anything. You only have 3 or 4 indicators to work with. But you can make these patterns, you know where I got them from? You know where I got these patterns here? I will show you guys. So basically where I got these patterns was from the Dow Jones. So we have data from beginning to 1914 or 1911, but let's see. So the chart that I'm talking about is this one. And I'm comparing in this one. This is the entire move of 1929, and I will show you. So in this entire move, the stock market between 1929 and 1931 lost 89% of its value, which corresponds to this. I will show you in a minute where it is. If we should perform the same thing, I expect the Dow Jones, and I'm only talking about the Dow Jones. I expect the Dow Jones to do the same, and if we should retest or go back to this 89.56 roughly, or 88 or 86, I believe that the 39 level will be will not be out of the realms, out of the possibilities. You know, that's what I believe. So let's go back. Let me show you where this is at on TradingView, so that I don't want anyone to say that I'm making it all up. Here it is, guys. Here it is. See, I even marked it. So the Great Depression, 1929 to 1932, where the Dow Jones dropped 89.58%. You know, it took 1,043 days. If we should be doing the same thing, I expect that we will be doing it in less time. So my projections is that if it's going to play out like it did in like 1929, although we might not even lose 89%, because if we were already 2% off, we could be in the total move of 2% off. So instead of dropping 89%, we could be only dropping 87%, 87.58. You know, it's still very significant. You know. So according to my projections, I believe that we will be bottoming in November 8th next year, because this dump is going to take a while. You know. So you want to see the similarities? You want to see the similarities? Look, this was the initial dump. This is the recovery. This was the first dump where it first bottomed out. It had the recovery. Our recovery is a little bit steeper. The NDX is actually around here, so the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones went about to this level. Then we had another drop, like we see here. We see the retest of the bottom. This is the retest of the bottom, kind of. Then we're going a little bit up again, and then we will drop. And this drop will be even more violent. See, we dropped from the level that we are here, basically to testing the lows. We're not going to the lows. Then we went a little bit sideways. We topped out again, and then the second violent move to the downside. Then once again we started to recover. We almost went, according to this, we tested the lows again of March, and then another violent drop. And so it continues throughout the year until we finally bottom out. Do you understand? Do you see this? So basically in 1929 the stock market was at 386.7, and when it finished in May of 1932, the value was 40.6. See this, man? This is no joke, man. This already happened, man, and I believe this is going to happen again. This is completely incredible. So, and the bottom line is, believe me, the powers that be, they know about this. You take a look at the IMF and the World Economic Forum. They know that this is coming. That's why they're talking about a global reset, because they know if they can't fix this, and there is only one way you can fix it, is to reset everything. You know, to reset the debts of the world, to reset everything, because they know this is going to happen, because they're already saying it. You know, just take a look at the IMF paper and the World Economic Forum paper, which I actually posted back here in the last stream. Just take a look at my stream. I'm not going to take these links, put these links in here again, because you know, I think it's counterproductive. But yeah, that's basically what I'm seeing. I see we had 3 viewers, now we only have 1 viewer. Nobody's commenting here, so I guess they're watching, but they don't feel confident. Maybe they don't want to believe it, but that's what's going to happen, guys. This is the reality. This is the facts, you know. if we are to drop like in 1932, after the bottom was done, we're going we're going to 3,078 points on the Dow. What that means for the S&P, I don't know. What it means for the Nasdaq and the futures, I don't know. What it means for crypto, well, what it means for crypto, it means that I don't know, man. Bitcoin could go back to the to the triple digits here. Maybe, I don't know. 300, 400, 500 bucks again. So if you're long into this market, into stocks and into crypto, man, get out while you can, because it's game over. Like I said, unless the World Economic Forum and the IMF, they want, if they don't go for the global reset. This is exactly what is going to happen. There is absolutely zero doubts about that, because it's the everything bubble. If things were bad in 1929, things are much worse. Take a look at what happened in 2008, and just take a look by the numbers. Everybody is saying that what is going on economically right now is worse than the Great Depression. So if it is worse than the Great Depression, here are the numbers from the Great Depression, from the stock market. Here it is. What this will mean for the economy, even the billion-dollar companies, I don't know, man. I believe that too big to fail, they will fail, and somebody will have to bail them out. And I believe that somebody won't have enough money well, they can print as much money as they want, but I don't believe they will be able to bail out everybody, because a lot of companies that are successful right now, they will suffer. The ones that are already afloat, they will go down. So this could mean the wipeout of a lot of too big to fail banks and institutions, and especially the banks. This is what it all means. That's why they're talking about a global reset, and that's why they are so worried, because they know that this is a potential global wipeout for the big institutions. That means that the cabals, that the billionaires and the trillionaires are making money right now, they might not be making any money if they don't get out. But I believe the most smartest one, they already did. Warren Buffett, which is kind of a legend in the stock market, the guy sold his stocks before the crash, before March, even before before March, or before we started to dump. So he sold everything. I still believe he has some gold and silver, but most of his positions in the stock market and indices and stocks, he just dropped them, and he's waiting on cash. So if he's waiting on cash, what the hell do you believe that he's waiting for? He's waiting for the exact same that I'm waiting. I'm waiting that we reach the lows. We're going to the lows, and then there is the buying opportunity of a lifetime for everybody. Not only on the stock market, but on the real economy as well. Because a lot of people will lose their money. A lot of people will lose their savings. And I believe that after all this is said and done, the property market, everything will be much cheaper. So if you have money back in then to invest in opportunities, then that's where you make a lot of money. Then that's where you make best. According to some guys that are billionaires, not everybody is investing in the stock market. Some of them are actually investing in properties away from the stock market. So that's what Robert Kiyosaki is actually talking about as well. And I believe him, because there is no way for you to believe that. So if you believe these guys, or if you do what they're doing, everybody is in cash right now. Everybody is in cash, because the reality of this crash is that the dollar, man, it will continue to be the reserve currency of the world. So all of the other currencies, like the euro, the yen, or whatever, they will lose in comparison to the dollar, because everybody is fleeing to the dollar as a kind of safe haven, as the world reserve currency, and the other currencies will devaluate because of that. That's what's going on. That's what I believe is going to happen. So I don't know, man. I'm I'm just, checking some historical charts here, and I'm basing not my opinions, but, well, my opinions as well. I'm basing my reasoning in what happened between 1929 and 1932. So I'm not making anything up. The data exists. It is out there for anyone to take a look at it. So this is the reality of our situation right now. So, yep. I guess I don't have much more to add about this, besides that, yeah, the world economy is already in trouble, and I believe that it is time for the stock market to wake up to reality. Just take a look at the Dow Jones. It's continuing to make lows here. Let's take a look at this. Dow Jones is dumping a lot. The futures market is not doing that bad, at least for now. Oh, it actually is. Interesting. So the futures market is starting to catch up with the stock market. Let me take a look at the S&P. The S&P is going the same direction. Let me take a look at the S&P futures. Because the futures market wasn't doing the same. Yeah, take a look. The futures market, everything is dumping. Let's take a look at the NDX, which is the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is dumping hard, like we can see right now, which is actually a little bit surprising. But like I said, man, nothing will be spared. Take a look at the Nasdaq here, taking a hard dump. Let's take a look at the futures as well. The Nasdaq futures is actually taking a big dump as well. So, like I said, nothing will be safe. Let's take a look at the stocks that I was looking before. So let's take a look at Amazon. Amazon should be dumping as well. Yep, Amazon started to dump these last five minutes. So at 2.14% down. So let's take a look at Tesla. Oh, Tesla is dumping a little bit hard. Yeah. No, like I said, guys, nothing is going to be spared from all of this. No one is going to be spared. Nothing in the stock market will be spared from what is happening. So that's the situation of all this. So now let's take a look at BTC, which Bitcoin is looking a little bit resistance about this, but make no mistake about it, it will dump it as well. It's kind of resisting right now. I'm actually quite surprised. It's maintaining the 9,300 level. So it's resisting a little bit. It's resisting a little bit to what is happening in the stock market, but yeah, I believe this is this is it as well for Bitcoin. So this is the reality of the stuff. I know that many people don't want to believe this, but it's far from over, guys. This market is going to dump very hard. Take a look at the Dow Jones futures. Take a look at the Dow Jones. Take a look at the SPX. Yep, that's where we at, guys. And it's not going to end well. So from what I've seen here, we're not going to have a recovery in the market. We're going to continue to dump quite heavily until we test the lows. You know, that's once again, that's what I interpret from all of this data. For whatever reason on the FTX, you know, Bitcoin actually dropped to 9,039 for whatever reason. But yeah, that's what's going on into the markets. I was actually a little bit resilient because I was the only reason that I wasn't expecting the market to crash right now is because I still was expecting it. You see this here? I was expecting it to make this higher, but I guess it didn't want it to do. So we're already in this pattern here, which will continue to the downside. So it is what it is. So let me take a look at the crypto market in general. Let me take a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum, yep, it's Ethereum. So it had its high from 240, around 249. We're at around 235. Let me take a look at BSV. I'm actually a very big BSV fan, but like I said, man, nothing will be spared from all of this. So, you know, trying to hang on to something that, you know, has absolutely zero chances of making it because this is going to affect everything, you know. This is it, man. So let me take a look at XRP as well. XRP. So XRP, yeah, kind of dumping hard as well. What else is on the top 10? BCH, USDT. So BCH was at 245.58. Now it's at 232. So BCH is also losing a lot. Yep, I believe this is going to be the next motto for the next month or so. If we see the projections, this will be the reality for a month or so. So this is what is going on, guys. Yep, nobody's watching. I believe that I'm blackmailed or not blackmailed. Shadow banned, you know, as well. But take it as you will, guys. I warned you since yesterday that this was coming, and here we are. And this is just the beginning, guys. We need to go back to the lows again before we can actually start to make a recovery, I believe. Yep, nobody's watching, or we have another viewer. I just go back to take a cigarette. So I believe this is the dump once again. This is the dump of the stock market. We're going to retest the lows, crypto and Bitcoin is on its way as well, so that's what I believe it's going on here. I'll be right back. I'll just leave you with the Dow Jones chart. Okay guys, now I guess it's time to take a look at the precious metals markets as well. So let's take a look at gold and silver, what they're doing. I would suspect that they're dumping too, but let's see. Yep, gold is dumping, silver will be dumping as well, oil will be dumping as well. I believe that the dollar is going to strengthen because I've been watching these markets lately very intensely. Yeah, silver is dropping again, so basically went from the highs of 18 to now because of the stock market. So let's take a look at oil, which I suspect should be tanking as well. Not even taking a look at it. Damn, that's not what I was looking for. Damn, look, what the hell, man. WTI crude oil 37.56. Let's just take a look at the WTI. Must be around the same level. Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. That's what happens when the markets tank. Everything goes with it, man. Take a look at this dump. Now let's take a look at the euro dollar, euro USD. I believe, I suspect that the euro is losing money as well. Yep, once again the euro is actually losing its purchasing power. Like I said, the US dollar is gaining on strength. So let me see if I can find out what the lows were. What the lows were when the stock market crashed. I don't know if this is it. May. Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, I believe that the euro is going down, and maybe after all of this is said and done, we're going to parity again. So the reality is, although I'm in the European Union, I'm not very keen on. Yeah, I guess this was the drop here. 1006. I believe that we're going back to these levels here again too. I wouldn't be holding euros, man. After this crash is done, man, I believe that the dollar will still be better because it's a reserve currency. It's a fiat currency like any other. It's worthless, and yeah, we will still have to wait and see where the inflation starts to kick in. If we still start to see some inflation in the end of the year, all over the world, in the United States, I still don't know. But like I said, man, when the stock market crashes or goes down, everything is going down with it. Everything. So this is the reality. This is the reality of what is going on. Dow Jones. Let's take a look at the futures market. Yep. This is it, guys. Nobody's watching. I guess I'll end the stream. If someone decides to take a look at these videos or whatever. Whatever, man. I'm good with it. I made my investments. I hope I'll be on top. I don't even have to wait. I hope I don't have to wait until next year, you know. I made some investments. I hope they pay out. If everything is not going to hell, the exchanges and the stockbrokers and everything like that, if everything is going to hell, then everybody loses its money. So that's the end of it. I'm the coin, and I'm out for now.